Welcome to Chapter 18 of this Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition role-playing tabletop game. We got a session full of fun ahead of us, I hope. One that's starting 25 minutes late. Sean's not with us. We didn't wait the entire time for him. The storyteller had to fulfill his role as the Minister of Relocation within the household. Let's go ahead and get started, and hope the minister's not called on anymore with surprises. Last chapter was eventful, but not much in-game time passed. Furthermore, there was no downtime. We're picking up the same day we left off, Thursday, April 23rd, 1998. The day passed uneventfully for the coterie while they slumbered, and they awakened roughly around 11:45 p.m. Of course, our protagonists have some matters on their minds. There's the death of Deputy Inspector Mikhail Vargas, a personal friend of David's. Vargas served as the coterie's primary measure of domain security in Astoria. He was a font of information, someone who provided them with knowledge and protection. Although unfamiliar with the vampiric condition, he had been taught what to look for and what the coterie needed to know. His death destabilizes the coterie's control, reducing domain security down to a whopping 1. At this time, the player characters are uncertain whether someone engineered Vargas's death. Preliminary investigation says no, but there's hopefully an autopsy report done that will settle the matter one way or the other. Oh, and there are tentacle appendages emerging from the ground, knocking on the Nosferatu's haven. When they aren't doing that, they're smashing into Elysium, kidnapping Tremere, including Jeannie, and spitting out severed heads from the ground. Although information has been slow to spread due to the recency of the attack and the Archon's desire to not discuss it with everyone, the Warlock's death and the violation of Elysium cannot be hidden. For now, there is an immediate and serious concern beyond who will become the next Prince of New York City, and the longer this situation goes unresolved, the more kindred who will know about it. That being said, with Jeannie dead, there are now only 2 serious candidates for the princedom, a Malkavian hard-ass and a Brugia dark horse. The Tremere will likely begrudgingly side with Vanderweyden, meaning Carter's ascension to the princedom seems all but assured, assuming this is the last the race has seen of outside interference. Anyway, back to the part where the 3 of you were just awakening. For David, Byron, and Marcus, as you lose a point of vitae, you wake up to find messages from each of you on your cell phones, coming from the Archon Theo Bell himself, who says, as it turns out, he has found something for the 3 of you to do after all, befitting all of the times that you offered to help yesterday. So if you could just mosey on down to the Madison Square Garden, he can fill you in on the details. It's not an immediate rush if you have something more pertinent to take care of. But, you know, you don't even have to attend today. He's just throwing the line out there.
Well, Byron will grunt at the news, and he will call up David and put him on speakerphone if he answers, so Marcus can, and technically Joseph, can listen in while we discuss it.
Yeah.
Ring, mother.
Yeah, so you get the message from Theo as well?
Yeah, I did.
Well, do you want to head over there immediately, or do you have something you want to do? Do you want to follow up on Dominic Gressman, or what are your feelings on the matter?
Well, I'm going to get dressed and head on down to Madison Square Garden. Hear Theo out, if nothing else.
Sounds like a plan. Byron will look at Marcus and say, I guess we'll join you as well?
Not to be the bearer of bad news, but without Vargas, our domain isn't exactly very safe. Any person can just sort of do what they want in our territory now. Kind of a big deal.
I absolutely agree. We need to get to work on securing a new ally within the police department soon. Tonight, ideally. But again, I'd really like to hear what Theo has to say first thing. Thoughts?
Yeah, well, basically,
And I'm just gonna be. Last time every single time we go to Theo says, "Hey, this isn't no rush." We always sort of just rush on over there, like, to see things. Maybe for once we can, take our time and not. Just a thought. I mean, I want to go see Theo, but I'm being the devil's advocate here.
yeah, well, how long do you think it'll take to deal with Dominique Gressman, assuming things go relatively smoothly? We should be able to get in and out of there within 2 or 3 hours, right?
And Theo said it was a rush, so we can come there later tonight.
I mean, I really don't know. I'd like to surveil the commissioner before we actually start acting on the police situation.
Fair enough. I mean, the trouble is that I'm assuming you want to go visit with Theo, and you're pretty much the best equipped to do the surveillance to begin with. So, and you're the one that wants to deal directly with Dominique Gressman, unless you've changed your mind. So, we pretty much need you along in some capacity. So, I guess for this, we're going where you go.
I mean, I don't think we actually eat him for the Dominic Gressman thing. We just need to feed him his blood, right?
Well, I mean, true. I don't know if David wants to be there for the event. I mean, it might make sense.
I did give you guys samples, and it might be a better first impression without me there. He might be more inclined to listen if he's already partially bonded before he meets me.
But he'll be bonded to you, not to one of us. So
you have an aid.
I'm not really worried about his first impression with you guys so much. But shots might be fired if he sees me before he's tasted some.
Well, of course, that was the plan all along, that we would go in first and feed him your blood, and then you would be available after he's bonded to you for you to talk to him, because he's not going to be, I don't know how, but I don't think he will be aggressive to you afterwards.
You pretty much would need to have the stage 3 blood bond to be him, for him to be, fully not. Because all stage 2 does is exacerbate your original feelings. You really hate someone, you're going to really hate them. Until you get to stage 3, then you'll hate them, but you'll love them too.
Right.
Listen, I'd like to be involved in whatever ends up happening with the police situation, but if you guys are in too much of a rush to wait, I'm going to go see Theo Bell first thing either way.
Yeah, to be totally honest with you, I don't know that one day is going to make a huge difference. I could be wrong. It's happened before, but
well, I'd still like to handle it tonight if possible, but my priorities lie with whatever Theo Bell has to say to us, not necessarily what he's going to ask us to do.
And the other thought is that right now, if we go directly over there, there is a fair chance that he will still be awake, which might make the situation difficult. But if we go over there at 2 or 3 in the morning, for instance, chances are less that he will be awake, and thus make it easier on all of us.
That was my thought as well.
Yeah, I'm sold to go see Theo first as well. It might look like we keep jumping every time he calls us, but he is the Archon, and we don't have anything that can't wait for a few hours, I don't think.
And honestly, it's not exactly an inaccurate impression to give.
There you go. Byron will look at Marcus and see if he has any objection. But if not, Byron will just say, I at least will be there at Madison Square Gardens to meet up with you.
I'll go. I'll be there. Just so Theo has another chance, pile drive me through the glass window.
Yeah, he really wants to. Speaking of which, where's Joseph?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, neither Marcus nor Byron have even thought to ask the ghouls or Joseph is. They're just like, we don't know.
Yeah. Consulting Craig, who happens to be wandering around the time, Joseph is... Craig looks a little bit from the left and a little right and says, indisposed.
Ah, gross.
Someone asked him to move stuff. I mean, he has to go deal with that first.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Hey, Craig, I know this is out of the blue, but can I borrow the keys to the car?
What?
Just a thought. We can take the subway, right?
I mean, no, Joseph did tell us to help you if you needed anything, and as he's indisposed, Craig just sort of like looks at you warily, as if he's expecting the car to be wrecked while you're out with it. Hands you the keys.
Come on, Byron, I'm driving.
Byron will shrug and follow. All right.
And then we drive Madison Square Garden.
The end. Good session.
David's going to get dressed relatively nice and check his security system to make sure that nothing too out of the ordinary happened during the day in front of his door. Just, sort of fast-forwarding through the tapes. And then he'll head out too.
You coming, Byron?
Go ahead and give me perception plus alertness at difficulty 6, Aaron. Just to make sure that there's nothing there.
And would Trained Observer apply for this?
Sure. Everything's good?
Well, all right then. In that case, Dave is good to go. He'll arrive as quickly as the subway can take him.
All right.
Probably pretty quick if he catches an express at this time of night, and pretty slow if he doesn't.
Well, as it turns out, David is experiencing a bit of good luck. Actually does manage to catch an express. And shuttles forth, thinking back on it, it's probably one of the quickest times he's ever traveled by subway getting through the city. My God.
Well, that's fantastic.
Good night. It's a good night. You actually end up arriving about, curiously enough, well, I mean, Marcus and Byron did get a head start, but, you know, they were driving all the way from Flushing. You were just taking a subway. But, apparently they're driving Joseph's car. Most interesting. As it turns out, the, three of you arrive at roughly similar times. Marcus, managing to pilot, Joseph's car without incident. Surprisingly enough.
I mean, I hope they have better luck with Joseph's car than Joseph and his crew historically has had.
Aww.
Anyway, Mark parked the car in the parking garage and lock the car and then head for the garden.
So yeah, once again, the exterior of the garden is very well lit, but it seems to be empty of humans. That the Elysium Security Force, which you aren't quite sure how big it is, manages practically all the time during the night to keep folks away from Madison Square Garden if there's going to be anything big or major going on. You know, normally if just normal people visiting, they can lurk and loiter on the outside, and their way there's no problem with human interaction. But I mean, it's really late at night. There's not any basketball game or any event going on, so it's not a big deal. What might be a bigger deal is, now where have you gone? There you are. Come here. Let me drag you from stage left. Actually sitting, basically resting his frame against like sort of like a plant area where like trees are actually kept in the ground and what have you. Just his back against the side of the concrete is no other than the Archon himself. New York Yankees cap on, and the sunglasses tilted so that he can just survey the exterior of the front of Madison Square Garden, which means he undoubtedly ends up seeing the three of you together. Da 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 da.
You called us?
I didn't call you. No, just kidding.
Well, someone stole your phone, then. You better get on that.
What?
It sounded exactly like you.
Should have star 69'd him. That bastard. Theo, upon seeing three of you, says, good to... Sort of looks around. Well, I did say that you didn't have to come along. The Malkavian must have other activities to do. I did also say you didn't have to come today, or tonight.
I'd rather find out what it is now so we can figure out if and how we're going to do it.
Right, of course. After what you told me last night, David, did you by chance take any sort of dirt sample or investigate in front of your haven door?
I did, and I found dirt in the concrete, much like there was. I can give you the samples, and I mean, I don't know where there's a geologist that can test them, but they could be tested too.
There's probably one inside. The Tremere, and Theo just sort of sighs. I have decided to hold my meetings outside here for now. The High Regent sort of insisted on combing through the arena with what seems like half of the damn warlocks to perform rituals and determining factors to try to deduce what the thing is and where it came from and who sent it and how do we hunt it and collect samples for their own experiments. Theo rolls his shoulders.
Right. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's just... When I came here to New York, I was really, really hoping that this would have gone a little better. Now I've been kicked out of Elysium by Tremere.
I mean, I'm sure there are worse things that could have happened, but I'll have to get back to you on the specifics of those.
Right. Naturally, they have great cause to be concerned. No other abductions, at least among major power players who are involved in the political scene, were noted. But then again, only information is just starting to spread to everyone of what actually happened here last night. There's no telling who else might have been taken. The Tremere don't think any of their own number have been taken anymore, but naturally they're on edge even more than what they already are, which is only great for everyone else involved.
Has there been any word from Carter? I did notice him enter last night.
Oh, I managed to speak with him, share a few words. He naturally expressed serious concern over the violation of Elysium, whether this is some sort of Sabbat attack or retaliation vengeance from Sevalod, or one of the kindred living within the city making a move. The fact that they broke into Elysium is something of great concern, and if it can happen there, then it seems it could happen anywhere within the city.
I mean, I think that's a pretty reasonable conclusion to make.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, protecting Elysium and ensuring the safety zone that the Camarilla believes in is a major concern for everyone, well, at least for those who have any designs or future for political process, but most kindred do as well. The ability to meet without weapons or worries, it's a nice concern. But that being said, if Theo shrugs, I can only hope the warlocks actually do find something, because I don't know how to burrow into the ground and hunt down tentacles. Unless you're hiding some sort of capabilities I don't know about, David.
Well, I mean, if I am, it's probably proprietary.
All right, Nosferatu. Trade secret. I forgot.
But yeah, I don't know. Those tentacles are almost certainly moving around under there by magic with how they seal things up behind them.
I don't understand how something so large could appear with absolutely zero trace, especially since standing on one of the first floors of Madison Square Garden with empty basement below us, how the tentacle appeared in the first place. We checked security footage, what we actually had. We checked outside. We checked everything. We checked below where the attack occurred. There was nothing left. At least not that the warlocks noticed. Or at least that they told me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be some kind of sorcery, right?
The only sort of logical conclusion I can come up with is that the Tremere were wrong, or they lied, and Sevalod is still alive. He's the only being that powerful and capable enough that I can think of who would have a vendetta versus the Tremere to settle. Although, if one of these things were knocking on your door, David, I You never met Sevlod, so I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I could understand it targeting the others, but...
And also, what motivation would the Tremere have for lying about this? I suppose there could be one, but I can't think.
To make themselves look more competent than they actually are.
To make themselves look better. Yeah.
I suppose.
For many of the kindred living in this city, Sevlod is nothing more than a boogeyman. Never seen him, never heard of him, don't really understand what Tzimisce can do, so for that effect, it doesn't really matter. But kudos to the Tremere for taking it down. For kindred who've actually met Sevlod, it's, or at least have a clear understanding of what a fiend can do. The respect level is much more significant, even if apparently they had to adjust weather patterns for the past week to make it happen.
I don't know, something something smells wrong about this whole situation to me. I can't help but thinking there's something that we're missing here.
Well, there's the problem, Nosferatu. You're breathing.
David just kind of gives him a wry smirk.
To that end, what I wanted the three... And, no alertness checks are required for this one. Because, at this moment, there's a combination of, loud, frightened screaming. It's muted, coming from the interior of the building, so it's difficult to pick out. But, there's the sound of that combined with the mixture of gunfire.
David's not even going to hesitate. He's going to start sprinting in.
Theo is right along with David, heading inside Madison Square Garden.
All right, and we'll
Marcus.
utter a few curses and follow.
Marcus is following.
Alright, gentlemen, copy your tokens.
Alright, copied.
Ditto.
Don't you
I'm
Demi
pressing
Moore
controls.
from Ghost me.
I'm pressing control as hard as I can.
Control C isn't complying for you. Okay. The four kindred, you three, along with the Archon himself, end up breaking through the doors of Madison Square Garden. Loud sounds are continue to be heard. The screaming is much louder now, combined with the report of shotgun fire. There's actually ends up being a few folks who end up running out of the arena, both as it seems to look Tremere as well as legitimate Elysium security guards, whose beasts have completely overtaken them, and they're running pell-mell, scattering to the winds themselves. It takes some time from where you all were positioned, maybe a minute and a half, to get from where you were standing on the outskirts of the Madison Square Garden into here. Once you get here, though, what we have here are the four main exits along with some minor exits up the stairs that will lead into the arena proper. You are free to choose which location you would like to enter from, and place your tokens along these dark gray areas. You can scatter up, or you can be together.
Which way did Theo Bell go in?
He'll actually pick whichever way you guys end up doing, unless you split up, then he'll pick whichever way the most of you have gone.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'll put Theo Bell down there as well. We'll say that David managed to edge ahead of him.
I mean, it's not a race.
I mean, you did get started running first. Okay. The arena has become a hall of carnage, with other vampires scattering and running up the stairs or through one of the other major exits to get away from what's inside. Before you is a tower of dark gray matter rising 22 feet from the ground, a vaguely humanoid mass of tumescence given ineffable sentience. Much of it appears to be fashioned from living flesh, and it throbs imperiously in a macabre mockery of life. But there are sections of its form plated by scales, along with thick layers of what might be spider's webbing draped over the thing, a sinister cloak writhing around the creature. The top of the tower would be the closest the creature has to a head, but it seems to possess no sensory organs. Rather, it is covered in multiple gaping maws containing concentric rings of razor-sharp teeth. That's not to say the creature has no eyes. Indeed, just pressing against the interior of the flesh there, and come to think of it, there are numerous places where the skin is translucent enough to reveal human faces beneath the surface, faces contorted in horror, mouths stretched against the interior, begging silently for release. For arms, there are 4 rubbery tentacles stationed around the creature's center, colored in stripes of red and purple, active suckers lining the sides, dripping slime and ichor. Further down, the tower breaks into 9 separate sections, each extending roughly 8 feet until they make uneven contact with the floor of the arena, ending in hooves? Despite the asymmetrical legs, get also how bloodied and singed they are from the combat that has taken place before you've arrived, a cursory examination reveals the obvious. The creature does not lack stability, and its entire torso easily rotates on the base of its legs to reach whatever fancies its interest. Currently, that's a brave member of the Elysium Security Force, a recognizable kindred whose name you can't quite recall, but he used to serve as one of Kadir's deputies after he fought in the Battle of New York. As you enter the arena, one of the tentacles whips across the giant's body and manages to catch the vampire in the chest. There's a brief flicker of something, like energy, across the appendage, and the kindred screams in a mixture of pain and terror before his body discorporates into a pile of ash. Speaking for a point of reference, every red X body you see on this map is an enlarged pile of ash, suggesting that a kindred met final death there. The gray X bodies are still intact, but unmoving. Byron and Marcus, please make courage rolls. The difficulty is 8. Failure results in sheer terror as the beast within compels you to flee. Only 1 success is required, and you may spend willpower, but I may require you to make more rolls in the future based on your successes. Oh. There goes Byron.
Yeah, I am not moving.
No, you are moving. You are gone. Whee! As for you, David, you don't have to make a courage roll at all. Intellectually, you realize the monster is nothing you have ever heard of in your entire unlife. Every shred, every scrap of knowledge, from kindred society to the occult, you've hoarded concerning anything, doesn't begin to encompass what you see before you. However, your beast simply fails to register it as something to be scared of. If anything, your undying muscles involuntarily twitch in excitement at the challenge. And for that, I would like you 3 to roll initiative.
Ha!
Huh?
What's that? Wits plus dexterity? The initiative modifier.
Yes, 1d10 plus dexterity plus wit plus any other modifiers, like celerity. Also, I apologize that there are apparently multiple copies of you guys in the fog that I didn't notice, since you had to rename your tokens.
Yeah, I think we deleted ours. At least I saw Aaron delete his. I deleted mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know there was a mine. If there was, I'm sorry.
Nah, you're fine.
So yeah,
So we have David. We have David Green 2 here.
It's a shame that we don't have Twitch chat going for this due to Major League Gaming or whatever's going on. I'm sure they'd have some things to say about what's transpired.
all I can say is Byron's initiative for GTFOing is perfect.
I mean, look at how well I rolled. Right?
For the purposes of this, I will allow you to spend a point of willpower to recover from this, but your first turn is going to be spent in, oh my fucking god, doing nothing.
Yeah, I will spend that point to recover, but yeah, I was probably going to do that anyway with Byron, just stand there and just say, what the fuck?
So it turns out the creature is going to be acting after all of you, and all of the NPCs will be acting after it.
Which means they're declaring first.
They're declaring first, yes. Looking about the arena, you see that there are some still standing survivors. The High Regent himself has been bloodied, lacerated by one of the tentacles, which, you know, seems like it'd be more of a blunt object, but that didn't stop it from almost appearing to, like, sear through his, Victorian-era clothes. He is conjuring up, and I guess this is worth noting as well. This hulking monstrosity definitely does appear to have taken some damage as well. One of its legs sort of appears to almost have snapped off under what you can imagine has been the combined pressure of both firepower as well as discipline use. Seeing as how since Elysium has been violated, it's safe to say that the Archon's going to be okay with you using disciplines here. The few others who are still standing all remain Tremere as well, and they have a plethora of disciplines they're going to be using to try to target this thing. The monstrosity, for that matter, gives no fucks, and it's really difficult to discern what this alien creature is doing, short of going after one of the other fuckers who's still alive in here and striking it down. Theo, for his part, is actually going to be running in, and you'll see that some of the Elysium Security Force guys actually have shotguns on them. He'll be grabbing one of those. David, you're up. The beast within is excited at the prospect of a challenge.
I mean, honestly, that's a pretty new one.
That's right, I mean, you're looking at this thing, never seen it, never heard of it, never really wanted to see this, but no courage roll required. You can certainly try to feel afraid, but assessing yourself, you're not afraid. Although you can intellectually choose to run away if you want, because it could probably kill you.
Right. Do any of these still standing individuals look like they're getting ready to try to escape?
Does not look like it, no. Janelle, Ben, Mirinda, and the High Regent, apparently these Tremere, the three, other than the Anchile, are all, I mean, the three others beyond the High Regent are all Anchile. You know, they're respected individuals that at least you can put names to among the Warlocks. And they seem to at least be sticking in the long haul with the High Regent.
Alright, well, David's going to start moving in, activate his claws, and spend 2 points of Vitae towards his stamina.
It's worth noting that this creature, normally, like, for your melee attacks, you'd have, like, a range of 1. This guy has a range of 7 with his tentacles. And, of course, he can range from any point of his token.
So it would actually be hard as fuck to close in with him.
You can certainly get in, like, close with it into melee range. I'd only make you sustain, like, a -1 penalty. But he would definitely get a +1 bonus to target you with his tentacles, I would say.
Right. And I don't suppose I still have any of those tear gas grenades.
You probably wouldn't have brought those with you to Elysium.
No, no.
I could have asked for a, equipment readout beyond what you'd normally carry, but I figured that would have been suspicious.
And it wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't have brought anything extra. If I grow claws, can I still use a gun just fine?
I think so, yeah. There's no rule, as far as I know, saying that you can't. You're more than welcome to.
Alright, well, in that case, I'm going to do pretty much everything I just said, but also include pulling out a gun. He's not going to try and move into melee yet, but he wants the option to be there.
Apparently the thing is so scary, it scared off Crimson.
Apparently it
Yeah,
did.
booted me. Hold on.
All in all, hey there, Twitch chat. How's it going, guys? So, since I didn't get to read any descriptions while I was loading, how you guys, like the hulking monstrosity?
They apparently want David to tame it.
Jump on it, tame it, and make it your bitch. Creepy as hell, as always.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Make it your mount.
So how many dots of animalism do you have?
Not enough.
Not enough. Alright, we know what David's gonna do. Marcus, what do you want to do?
What is the button combination to make that arrow appear on map tool? I forgot.
Make sure that you have the pointer tool selected, and then just hold down the spacebar. It's interesting to arrive to the stream and see this monstrosity. Finally, I can tell Grimith how sick and twisted his imagination is. League of Legends Championships. Ah, that's what's happening today. So what you gonna be doing, Jordan?
I'm measuring how far I can move in a single turn.
Okay. While still being allowed to do an action, I assume.
Yes. But apparently my character sheet doesn't tell me how far I can move.
No. That's horrible. Movement is... Oh, hell. Now Grimith forgot.
White wolf?
Grimith is trying to remember. Grimith is sure this is important somehow. Movement. Here we go. Page 258. Characters may choose to walk. You can move at 7 yards per turn. Jogging is 12 plus dexterity. All out running 20 plus 3 times dexterity. You can move it up to half maximum running speed, and then subsequently attack or perform another action.
So it's 20 plus dexterity for running. And
20 plus 3 times dexterity.
That means in a single turn I could run 47 yards. And I can go half that.
And still do an action, yeah.
Well, I'm going to first spend a point of blood to increase my stamina.
Absolutely.
And then I'm going to run down to the Elysium security guy down by Ephraim.
Okay.
I think I can make that.
Alright.
And I'm going to get that shot in. And I think that's going to be my action to pick up the shotgun.
Okay, and Byron is trying to recover from what the hell is this? Go ahead and make your move, Marcus.
I'm going to acquire the shotgun.
Okay, standard shotgun. Quickly checking it, you'll see that you'll have to reload it before you'll be able to fire. And there are definitely enough shells on the guy to make that happen.
Okay.
Perhaps it would, the vampire before he met his final death, or yeah, that guy met his final death. Had tried as best as he could to fire at the creature. David?
All right then. He'll move over this way. That's still outside of its 7-meter reach, right?
Sure is. If you use the ruler tool, you're at 9 away from his range.
Perfect. And he'll grow his claws, draw his gun, boost his stamina.
Okay.
Everything I just said.
All right. The monstrosity wants to go after the closest target. Go ahead and check to see who's closest. Miranda's out of range, along with... Oh, the High Regent's in range. But he's not the closest. The creature just ends up sort of remaining in place. All 9 of its uneven hooves planted onto the arena floor, and then with a sort of screech, all 4 tentacles end up flying towards Janelle. She manages to actually duck and jump over another. Third one just naturally whiffs, slams against the arena floor. The fourth one does hit her, wounding her severely, but she remains still standing and determined. The creature is not impressed by this. Theo?
Well, I mean, does the creature even have any fucks to give?
Probably doesn't. Theo has decided that he'll go ahead and take the charge on this being the goddamn Archon and everything. Runs to this point, grabs the shotgun. Leaves him security force guy. Just go move. There you go. Get away from the Archon. Serious business.
The Archon just throws him off of the shotgun he fell on top of.
There we go. And the 4 standing Tremere, Janelle actually begins pulling back towards the staircase before letting out a sort of attack on her own. None of you are quite familiar enough with thaumaturgy to see exactly what's happening as they make their attacks, except for the High Regent, who basically summons like an entire conflagration of fire to strike down the creature, actually blowing off one of its 9 legs. The creature sort of wobbles a little bit, and then the legs beneath it shift lower the torso to readjust itself, so that it does not have any weak points. The flaming leg just sort of falls off the creature onto the arena floor and dissolves into a pool of acid. And that's round 1.
I hope there isn't a Knicks game tomorrow.
Byron, since you used a point of willpower to try to recover from this, I want you to make a courage roll at difficulty 8 or spend another point of willpower in order to be able to do anything. Otherwise, you're running.
Yeah, I will spend another willpower.
Okay. You can make a courage roll if you want. It'll basically tack on extra successes. I mean, no, even if you botch the willpower roll, it can't take away your 1 success.
All right.
So go ahead and make your courage roll at difficulty 8.
Good thing I used it.
Yep, Byron will be capable of acting. The NPCs are going to continue their sort of effect. Theo has realized that getting within like really close range of this creature is a bad idea, and he's definitely going to backpedal and shoot. Other shouts can be heard from outside. There are definitely other members of the Elysium security force who will probably be arriving, and hopefully they won't end up being on the arena floor. And the Tremere themselves seem very determined, as does the creature itself, who, he will be making his own attack. It will. Probably doesn't have a gender. David, you're up.
All right. I don't suppose he can hoist up that kindred right there over his shoulder and still fire off a shot.
No, that would take his action to be able to do that.
All right. Well, then he's going to fire off a shot at the hulking monstrosity, and you know what? Fuck it. He doesn't need that blood pool. He's gonna dump 1 more point into stamina and then 2 points in dexterity as well.
All right. It's worth noting that you can't ascertain what might be a vital organ on this creature and what might not be a vital organ on this creature. So you can certainly try to aim a shot somewhere, but it might still very well do bashing damage. And you'd have to contend with a higher difficulty anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot at it.
Okay. Marcus, you're up.
I'm going to spend a point of blood to increase my dexterity. Then I'm going to spend another point of blood for another action for celerity. With my first action, I will be reloading the shotgun. And I'm out of range of his tentacles of doom right now, and I'm going to keep it that way. And on my second turn, which I will probably stand still and shoot my shotgun.
Okay. Byron, you've managed to shake yourself out of your sort of, your reverie of fear and terror, and through sheer willpower and like, I killed one of these sons of bitches before, I ate the snowman, have managed to remain here, and now you get to act.
First thing, I'm going to dump 3 blood points into Dex, and then I'm going to run along the wall to Janelle Walsh, but reserving an action. Then I'm going to, oh shoot, didn't have the gun drawn. Well, Well, I'll draw.
You can do that as
Glock.
your action. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll draw the Glock. I'll put, instead of doing that, since I won't be able to fire this turn, I'll do 2 points into stamina, 1 into Dex, and then I will move up the wall halfway between where I am and where David is.
Okay, you can make your move now then. And Byron draws his Glock. Marcus spends his first action to reload the shotgun.
Reloading.
David!
Right. So let's lower his blood pool by another 3. And fire off a shot.
Okay, go for it. That looks like it's going to be ineffective. Since the
At
10 and
least
the
it
1 will
doesn't
cancel.
botch.
Doesn't botch, no. The shotgun, it's certainly difficult to miss this creature, but it seems that perhaps it was just a proper target. Maybe you ended up hitting the scaly sections instead, or maybe that cloak whipped around and knocked, the shotgun, material right outside the fucking sky. Regardless, creature acts as if it didn't even notice your shot.
Well, at least it didn't make it mad.
The creature sort of rotates, it seems, to focus on the High Regent, who blew off one of its legs. There's another screech coming from the gaping maws at the top, as the creature then proceeds to charge at the High Regent, whose eyes very much widen as the dwarf looks up at the huge monstrosity ahead. Whoa!
Oh, poor Regent.
The dwarf does not quite discorporate into a pile of ash being too damn tough. Or maybe this thing just wanted to save him for later. It's hard to tell what the hell the thing is thinking because it has no face to perceive emotions. But the tentacles perhaps really enjoyed slamming down and casting low. Only two of them managed to hit the High Regent and deal damage, but that was enough to knock him out. Letting out a cry in pain of the process as his glasses are smashed, the stovepipe hat is knocked back to the stairs, and he falls down. Theo takes several steps back to here, firing off a shot at the monstrosity. Similarly, the other Tremere end up backpedaling as well, going for cover back at the staircases, and do their own various attacks as well. They manage to score numerous lacerations, and Theo's shotgun stroke particularly, let me see here. Yeah, it particularly lands well, blowing out gashes of the pulsing, bulging, dark gray flesh. But this creature is still very much on its 8 hooves. For declaration purposes for round 3, Tremere are a little shaken after seeing the High Regent go down like that. What was that? Yeah, you get your second action. Yeah, you get your second action. I forgot. It's okay. Good job. You reminded me.
Okay, so shooting this motherfucker. Just my dexterity and then just 3, 11. Okay. Would precise help me in this?
No.
I'm not being very precise with the shotgun.
Looks like 6 successos, even with the 2 1s, so that's an additional 5d10 for damage.
I'm assuming this is a regular shotgun that has +8. That has 8 damage dice.
It's a regular shotgun. It just wasn't loaded.
Possibly 2 damage.
The shot certainly connects with the creature, but it manages to absorb the blast. It does not appear to have been phased by that.
Well, shit.
For the NPCs, their part, the Tremere are definitely shaken after the falling of the High Region, but they're not going to be running away. They managed to remain courageous enough. And the monstrosity is sort of swiveling its torso to go after the next closest target. I want you to make a courage roll, difficulty 8 for me, Jordan. Either that or you can spend a point of willpower and then roll for extra successes. That's a botch. You are gone. Irrevocably, undoubtedly, incompletely, unsavable. You're gone. You drop the shotgun? Describe what goes through Marcus's head and how he is now devoting himself to spending all of his blood to running.
I just shot that guy with a shotgun, probably one of the best shots I've ever landed, and he just shrugged it off. I can't be here. I gotta go. I gotta get away.
That was 3 1s on a botch. Marcus is done. Go ahead and... Yep. Go ahead and delete him from the initiative. Byron.
Same thing.
Okay. No, you don't have to roll. You're fine for now.
Okay, then 3 points in the dex, and I'm going to move along the wall to pretty much in front of Janelle Walsh there, And then I'm just going to go full auto on this hulking monstrosity. I'm going to unload the whole clip on it.
All right. I think this is like the first time like one of you done like full auto shit.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I did look at what the mechanics were for it. It says I get plus 10 to the accuracy roll. Does that mean I rolled dex plus firearms plus 10?
Yes.
Yes.
But the attack
Okay.
roll is at a +2 difficulty due to the recoil. Extra successes, of course, add to the damage dice pool.
Right.
You can certainly unload it. Yeah, it's definitely the first time one of you guys have gone full auto, yeah. Oh.
So it's my turn, so I can just go now, I guess?
Yep, I forgot that. I think I actually skipped David outright, damn it.
You did.
Yeah, let's do
I
his
did.
first.
Fucking, I goddamn blanked. What was it that David wants to do?
David's actually planning on yelling to Theo that we need to fall back. We're going down too quickly. And then hoisting up that Tremere over his shoulder to try and take them with him.
Okay. Alright. Byron, go ahead and make your action.
I'll do the stats later. I think I get 16. Gosh, I'll just do 2 8s then. No, I get 17. Yep.
Looks like 5 successes, so an additional 40... No, wait, +2 difficulty due to the recoil. Um, um, 1, 2, 3? 3 successes?
Well, I mean, I had 17 there. I rolled twice.
Right. I think that's 3 successes. Go ahead and double check since the difficulty is going to be 8.
I see a 1d10. I see a 10. I see an 8, a 9, and an 8. So I see 4.
Yeah, I see 4 as well.
Okay. That's why I wanted you guys to double check. I missed one of them. The 10 is canceled out by a 1. There's another 1 that's canceled out by an 8. I see a 9, an 8, and an 8 left. If the difficulty is 8, the 6s and 7s don't apply.
Okay. Yeah, I must have just missed one of the ones then. That's fine.
I only see 2 1s though, and I see 4 successes before the ones drop. Well, I mean, I see 6 successes before the ones drop. Or I can't do math. Don't listen to me.
I don't see 6 successes. I only see 5.
Yeah, I only see 5 as well.
Alright then, in that case, additional 2d10 on the damage. Byron Rand unloads the entire Glock clip calmly and coolly, maybe even tilting it sideways.
Oh no, he's yelling and screaming. He's like,
Ah!
I mean, can you blame him?
The spray of bullets, much to perhaps Byron's holder, I mean, it's pretty much impossible to miss this creature given how huge of a target it is. All of the bullets seem to just like impact the creature and then fall straight down to the floor, not even penetrating the skin.
yeah, I think that, yeah, not that it's my turn yet, but he's probably not sticking around.
David.
Well,
All
does
right,
it mark
well,
to run away like a bitch?
Definitely. Marcus is gone.
Yeah, you spent all my blood to run away?
Yeah! Marcus
Yeah, that-
drops the shotgun, flees, screaming, like several others before him, out of the arena. He's gone.
David is going to yell to Theo, Theo! We need to get out of here! We're going down too fast! And then pick up the Tremere Kindred and get ready to run on his next turn, assuming Theo doesn't do something dramatic to totally shift the tide of the battle before then.
The monstrosity, after assessing the situation, has realized that Theo is actually the closest individual. Gets to about there, and the tentacles begin waving at Theo in an attempt to hit him. However, Theo Bell is the goddamn Archon, and he's had enough of this shit. He ducks one, dodges another, the third whiffs, and the fourth one smacks straight into Theo and deals no damage.
Bruja, mother.
I mean, Fortitude isn't normally a Bruja clan discipline, but I'll allow
He's the motherfucking Archon. He's the motherfucking Archon. He's going to learn it.
I'll allow it.
I'm glad I have your permission. To determine what Archon Theo Bell is.
Yeah, I mean, this time.
Oh, thank goodness. I mean, Fortitude's not normally a Nosferatu discipline either, David.
I don't have Fortitude.
Oh shit, that's right, you don't.
No, I've been a glass cannon this entire game. I mean, there's a reason that David constantly goes down like a bitch.
I forgot, only Byron's the one with Fortitude. Damn!
Yeah.
And he actually had to have someone teach that to him, because he didn't have that at the beginning. Shit, everyone, it's been a rough day. I keep forgetting things. The ministry is very busy. Now time for the NPCs. Theo shouts back, "All right, take what you can out of here!" And moves to, let's see here, moves to this position and begins firing. And he fires once, and it actually, the shotgun does deal a nice chunk of damage to the creature. It looks as if one of the legs actually does look like it's going to cave in, again, although it wasn't blasted off like the High Regent did to it. However, attacks from the other Tremere lingering around on the outskirts actually end up outright finishing that off, reducing the monstrosity down to 7 legs, which then readjust themselves. The leg that is blown off by a combination of Tremere thaumaturgy and Theo's shotgun falls onto the arena floor, and separated from the main host, it too discorporates into acid. Theo then proceeds to take 2 more actions, which end up also dealing significant damage to the creature. Chunks of its torso, and parts of its tentacles are blown off with the blast. But it is still very much standing. Bleeding all over itself now, but standing. Alright, for declarations, the NPCs, the 3 Tremere as well as Theo, are going to continue to attack this thing, while sort of trying to reposition themselves. There is also some reinforcements that end up arriving right at the end of last round. More security force officials armed with rifles. 4 in total. That's Dave, Barry, Tom, and Johnny. They all have berets on. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I mean, they're very fashion conscious. What can they say?
Absolutely. They all have rifles, and now they've arrived at the end of last round, they're definitely going to take their time to shoot at whatever the hell this is. Apparently, having steeled themselves enough, they managed to muster up their courage. Speaking of courage, Byron, you can spend more willpower, but you're going to have to make another courage roll, difficulty 8 for me.
Nope, I'm running, and I'm not spending more willpower because he just unloaded an entire clip into that thing, and I think that's where he falters.
All right, Byron is man, fuck this. See, you don't move just yet. I was just checking to see whether you got your courage thing. Monstrosity is going to continue to attack the closest target. David, you've shouldered the body. What would you like to do?
Let's see. He could get over to Ben Watson in a single turn, right?
Sure.
Could he grab one of the Elysium security forces that have fallen but not discorporated as he goes? I mean, he's pretty fucking strong.
True. I tell you what, we'll go ahead and have you make a strength plus athletics check at difficulty 7 to do a drive-by pickup.
Alright.
We'll do that on whenever it's your turn to act. And Byron, of course, is off the map. Runs up the stairs. He is gone. Alright, Dave, let's see a strength plus athletics at difficulty 7.
Nope.
You didn't fail, but you don't get a hold on the body. As go ahead and move your token. You even have ownership over the body that you picked up too, so you should be able to move that as well. As fucking David Green vaunts up like the fucking railing and just goes up the stairs. He
doesn't care. He's David motherfucking Green.
That's true, he is. The monstrosity, well, Theo did a pretty good job of hitting it, and, Theo is certainly the close one. Clunk, clunk, clunk. The 7 legs that have, repositioned themselves below the creature. Swivel, and, the creature braces himself for a series of attacks again. You have so many dice, hulking monstrosity. What are you doing? You're drunk. Go home.
If it's drunk... Wait a minute.
The creature apparently had not managed to retain perfect balance on its 7 repositioned legs. One whiff, and then an overlunge with one of the tentacles later, the creature screams in anger as it actually collapses sideways, hooves kicking in the air rapidly as it struggles to realign itself. It is botched and fallen prone. Imagine that, if you will. This 22-foot-tall tower of matter with hooves kicking out from under. It's a great image, right? Very funny, entertaining. Tell it to your kids.
I mean, if you insist.
Absolutely. Theo is definitely determined, it seems, to remain in the fight, and he would rather be the target of the thing. As such, Theo positions himself, skirting around, leaping over a tentacle that snaps at his legs up to this point, and lets loose a series of multiple shotgun blasts that will be supported by the Tremere, who themselves are attacking as well, and streams of blood end up flying out of this thing and towards Janelle as well as Ben. As for the security forces, they give their attacks. One attack seems to find purchase actually breaking into the skin, but if anything, the creature just seems really angry now that it's laying on the ground. As for Theo's other shotgun blasts, he completely empties out the clip. Let's see how much damage he does. Oh! Exposed so heavily like that, Theo manages to precisely line up the shotgun and blows off another one of the hardened legs from the critter. It's sailing in the air to fly against the northern section near Janelle before it dissolves as well. Which, now that the creature is laying on its side, it's fully exposed how the other remaining appendages realign themselves below the body to properly position. Not that this is anything that Marcus or Byron see, because
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to allow it, but I was planning on doing try another courage roll or a willpower in like
certainly
2 turns.
you didn't botch, so you would be. I would allow you to spend a point of willpower first to stop yourself, and then you could spend another point.
Just so we're clear, Marcus can run 188 yards in a single turn.
Oh yeah, you're fucking gone. He's back to the car. He might stop running at the car. He might just like curl up inside the back seat or something and cry.
I mean, that would assume that he sees the car as a safe place, and I mean,
that is true.
He knows what happens to Joseph's cars.
Either point is, Marcus is too far away to come back in any reasonable amount of shape, and he's probably out of blood or damage.
Oh yeah, he botched. So he is permanently gone from this fight. Okay, declarations for round 5. Byron, go ahead and if you wanted to try to recover from your pell-mell shock, you can spend a point of willpower.
Yeah, I'd do that. I just figured I didn't think it was realistic for him to stick around after emptying 17 bullets into it and just laughing at it. So.
That's fine. I went ahead and edited your token. He's off in the darkness. He'll take a full turn of running just to get back here. But he can do that for this round.
Right. Can he do a reload while doing that and go half the distance, then finish it up and then take a shot when he gets back? Hope if he, assuming he gets back in time. If you see what I mean, instead of
sure. That's fine. Yeah. Fine. I'll allow that. See, the hulking monstrosity is going to be spending an action to use one of its tentacles to send itself flinging back onto its remaining legs, but it is certainly capable of attacking multiple times, and standing up from prone is not going to stop it from Theo. David? I actually want you to make a self-control roll at difficulty 4 for me, David. The beast within is a little edgy at you not rushing in and trying to fight the creature. You have claws, man.
And now it's time for the botch. Here we go.
No, you definitely pass. You managed to retain your self-control, still shouldering that body. What would David like to do?
Oh, and actually, I think in this case, his code of honor would have applied. Because his current primary objective is getting as many people out of here alive as possible.
Sure.
So that would have been 2 more dice, but whatever, I succeeded.
Although no one's alive in here.
You know what I fucking mean.
Of course. What would David like to do with this turn?
Let's see. The High Regent is 24 meters away. And how far can we move again?
You can run 20 plus 3 times your dexterity. You can move up to half your running speed and still take an action.
And right now my dexterity is functionally 7, so that's 41. So,
You can move 20 spaces and still take an action. More than that, I will... It's basically what you did with the Elysium Security Force guide, forced you to make a strength plus athletics.
right. So in this case, if he ran up to the High Regent, like, as just far enough that he could reach him, he wouldn't be the closest thing to the monstrosity, right? That would still be Theo Bell.
It would depend on where David had positioned himself, but certainly, and that would probably end up being the case.
Then he's going to spend a point for celerity, run up, and then with his second action, grab the High Regent and try to retreat back to safety.
Okay. Are you going to be carrying the other body with you, or are you going to have that resting down on the stairs?
He's going to leave it right there. He assumes that Ben Watson and the security force individual can take it out if need be, but for now he's going to try to simultaneously save a man's life and secure huge political favor.
Saving the High Regent might fucking commit suicide.
Hey, I mean, win-win, right?
Exactly.
I'm sure, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I was saved by a what?
Maybe we can get the other High Regent back. She was kind of cool.
Alright, Byron makes his way back towards the upper staircase entrance, but he's still not in the arena yet, and manages to reload his gun. David, go ahead and take your first action then to move your way towards the High Regent's body. Please.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to move him with the ruler too.
Sometimes that happens, man. The monstrosity uses one of the tentacles to lob itself onto its remaining legs. And charges at Theo. I really can't do a monstrous screech as it charges. I'm not that good at that. I can do voices, but not that one. Besides, you wouldn't want to hear me yell that loud anyway.
Yes, I would.
Nah, we're good. We go ahead and see what it can do. It's gonna be hard for me to hold down my push-to-talk key, but I just want to make sure this is incorporated. And then I'm going to end this first part.
But what was he holding the key down with?